So we are going to start our foundations for our start line stay. You can see you need a bowl, which Roxy thought was a toy right there. Okay, I'm going to ask to grab her collar for a collar transport. At first she doesn't want to let me grab her collar, but then she does let me grab her collar. I drop a treat in the bowl. We walk a short distance away, and I ask for a down. You can do either a sit or a down. I release her collar by just an inch or two, and then I cue that start line. My start line cue is go, and I kind of use a gesture and a word. On this rep, you can see I'm using a shortened leash because Roxy really isn't a big fan of the collar transport. Ask her to go into that down and then use my start line cue to send her toward the bowl. This creates nice momentum coming out of that start line cue. Once again, ask for a down. You can use a sit or a down. Okay, now I'm taking a step in front of her, 2 steps, and then I cue it. So getting her to wait while I move ahead of her. So on this repetition, you can see I'm going to get quite a bit more distance from her. So I ask her to go into that down position. And I'm going to move forward quite a bit. I'm also going to look forward and then look back at her to make sure that she's not cueing off of my head. Here I look forward, and then I look back, and then I cue. So I make sure that she is not leaving until I have given the cue. On this repetition, I'm adding an obstacle in between her start line and the food bowl. And I'm also going to work on unleashing behaviors. So you can see I ask for that down, then I take off her leash. I'm not going to get too far from her on this one because I've changed a lot of criteria. I've added the obstacle and I've done the leashing behavior, so I didn't want to get too far from her. On this repetition, you'll see Roxy working through a little bit of distraction. Notice I don't cue that down until I have her attention. I get her attention, she mistakes that for the go cue. Cue her down. Once again, work on that unleashing, standing up. This time I am going to take a couple steps and then give that start line cue. Make sure to practice both sides, and then I send her to the mat for end of exercise so I can recenter and figure out what we're going to practice next.